Hey guys, Andy here. What comes to your mind when you hear the word Turbo? The 2013 animated feature, Turbo, starring Ryan Reynolds as a super fast snail. The fast-paced classic arcade machine Super Street Fighter II Turbo. And the word turbo, or turbocharged, you think of speed and power, right? But what exactly is a turbocharger? How does it work? And will it give a snail superpowers? Stay tuned to find out. A turbocharger, also known as a turbo supercharger, a turbo, a turb Ferguson, okay, I made that last one up, is a turbine-driven, forced induction device that increases an internal combustion engine's power output by forcing more air into the cylinders. In other words, it's an air compressor. It's composed of a shaft with a turbine on one end and a compressor wheel on the other end, both covered by a housing and spinning at the same speed. Exhaust gases produced by the engine enter the turbine housing through an inlet port. The gases spin the turbine, which in turn spins the compressor. The compressor sucks in outside air and forces it into a tube connected to the engine's air intake. The compressed air will pass through a heat exchanger, sometimes called an intercooler, on its way to the intake manifold. As the engine spins faster, so does the turbine, thereby sending even more air into the motor. With more oxygen entering your engine at a quicker rate, you can burn more fuel. And when you burn more fuel, you make more power, approximately 25% to 40% more. This improvement over a naturally aspirated engine's power output is because the compressor can force more air and proportionally more fuel into the combustion chamber than atmospheric pressure alone. For people looking to balance performance with fuel economy and efficiency, turbocharging is a good choice. But like everything in life, except maybe for pizza, there are pros and cons. The most obvious upside of a turbocharger is the much faster and more powerful ride you're going to get. It's ideal for smaller displacement engine applications. Using a turbo on a smaller engine is lighter weight and more fuel efficient than using a larger engine. Because turbos are powered by waste gas, that is, otherwise wasted energy, you don't lose anything by running one. It doesn't draw useful power from any other engine system. And turbocharging an engine makes it more fuel efficient since the increased oxygen in the cylinders means more fuel is entirely burnt and not wasted. On the downside, there's the expense of souping up your current engine. Installing a turbo is no easy task, and you're going to have to pay a mechanic big bucks to do the job. There's also the issue of turbo lag, a momentary lapse of power that occurs as the turbocharger tries to get up to speed. It's due to the time needed for the exhaust system and turbocharger to generate the required boost, also called spooling. In a related drawback, turbos only work when the engine is producing enough exhaust to spool up the turbine. That means they only really start working once the engine has reached a certain RPM. Another bummer? The heat turbochargers produce may require more engine oil and higher quality fuel to run, which also affects the wallet long term. A twin turbo or bi-turbo design has two separate turbochargers operating in either sequence or in parallel. Both configurations are designed to combat that dreaded turbo lag. In a parallel configuration, both turbochargers are fed one half of the engine's exhaust. This allows for smaller turbines that can spool up quicker. Sequential turbocharging refers to a setup in which the engine uses one turbocharger for lower engine speeds and a second larger turbocharger or both at higher engine speeds. This system provides a way to decrease turbo lag without compromising power output at high RPM, but requires an intricate set of pipes to properly feed both turbochargers. The downside of twin turbos: more parts equals more dollars spent on maintenance, but for some, the decrease in turbo lag alone makes twin turbo a win. Do you have experience with turbochargers? Leave us a note in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative automotive videos like this one.